school that day. I didn't think that anybody was watching me and listening to me as I said that, and I said that because I was just a little bit, just still feeling a little bit scared. I didn't like plot out in my head, ooh, let's see what kind of dig I can get into this person. No. And why I sound a little bit defensive about that is because the very next thing that I remember is sitting down right next to my fifth grade teacher who had blonde hair, black glasses, and let's hope that she was not born under, the sun sign eras because, talk about badly representing it. And this, I think it has more
Order
respect.
some food here in a few minutes. Do you want to let us know what you want, Everett?
We're gonna go into Des Moines and pick it
I
up.
don't think we're going to go to Des Moines, but we can get in the car together and pick it up.
Oh, maybe we could do Mexican.
Do Mexican? Okay, I don't know. Well, why don't you come on out here? Can you pause it? And we can talk about it?
So where was I? So she was wearing a gray sweatshirt. It probably said something on it with like a football. Well, I don't know. Jeans and blue jeans. That's what she was wearing. A sweater. And I don't remember if I was chilly that day and it got warmer as the day progressed. And I just sat down. I just, probably pitched in, did something, came there, sat down next to her. I was aware that I was next to her. Maybe she coaxed me to sit next to her. I was just looking off, just thinking to myself quietly. And then she probably said, hey, I want to talk to you about something, or just started talking. But anyway, I looked her in the eyes. She looked me in the eyes. And she told me a lesson in which, to tell you the truth, the lesson itself would be something that I would sometimes kind of go back to and agree with. But if it's coming from her, certainly not. And I would definitely take just completely disregard what she was saying to me because it would be false in that situation. And I want to get into it now. So she told me that it's wrong to question experts, question people who know what they were doing. And if I did, I had no intentions of doing that because there wasn't a single bone of that in my soul of questioning. And questioning, in my definition, is asking something very, very rudely and keep jabbing it and bothering and pestering. That's what questioning is to me. She said something like that. I don't remember what she said, but she said something like that. And Garrett was sitting next to me, who was a student that I knew. Being together with him for a lot of my days in 5th grade, because we were both special education. We were both with Miss Traver. She said that, and I said, I understand the lesson. Even though I didn't, I just did not want to say anything against her because then I would feel like I would be splitting hairs, and I could not bring myself to do that. It's like she would probably go off, and she was now she was a force to be reckoned with. She was really tough rod. I'm trying to think of the word that Jeanette Walls described her her dad's mother, her grandmother as. But no, she was a force to be reckoned with. My teacher was a force to be reckoned with. And so then she said that we would have to write 2 things when we get back. One of which was writing an apology to the people at the the Internet Nature Center for probably how I acted, how everybody acted. Well, not everybody, but how I acted, and that I'm sorry for what I said, or whatever I did, which I didn't say or do anything wrong or anything mean, but nonetheless. The second thing, was writing out a list of steps for building a teepee. Why? Well, I could assume that she just wouldn't think that we gained or, learned too much out of things. People weren't, messing around, and the lady was doing most of all the work and people weren't taking it seriously. I don't know. And then I was feeling very, very hurt and in sheer disbelief. She was serious that I had to do those things, and I was just feeling at that point just like I had been, slapped in the face, that just like a knife had done that into my chest. It was not a good feeling. I was feeling very inhibited and very insecure, and just I hoped and I prayed that we would not have to write those things, and I just wanted to get on the bus, get back to school, get the day over with so that I could go home with my family and have a nice evening. That kind of sounded like a dream come true at that point. We got on the bus. I sat on the bus, sitting right across from Zane, who was sitting on the bus with me. He started acting up again along with other students, and there was so much talking I could not control him at all. I just couldn't. I just was irritated, but I was just so emotionally exhausted that, I just, after a point, I just kind of, whatever, I'll just ignore it. I don't have to put up with it. I got back, we got back to the school. We all got out. And I remember she was standing right next to the door where we would go in, and I remember asking her how long until the end of the day. And when I started asking her that, she probably didn't hear me, and she just said, go inside now, or something like that. So I remember going inside because, to kind of move in the line, and I could sense at that moment, that she was mad, and the storm was brewing, just like what would be seen up on the clouds. The weather dictated what went on down below that day. I wonder if Pluto was like direct in the sky, I don't know. But I went down the hall to the classroom. I put my bag and my lunchbox away in my locker. And then I went back, sat down at my desk, and then when everybody got in there, she called us all up to the floor, and I sat down on the rug. And she was sitting in her, chair, alongside the lockers, and we all looked up, and she was sitting there giving us a lecture on just how mad and how, disappointed that she was, because she was just appalled, embarrassed, all of those things, and she did not enjoy the day, nor did I, and that really just was the thing that just ruined the experience. So, she said that, she just went on about the people over at the, Net Nature Center, and that, that she expects more from, fifth grade class, and, all of you most of you said something, or did something wrong, and, I didn't get paid to babysit you, and we don't have to do all these fun things. I can just whip out worksheets out of my file cabinets, and we can do those instead of going on field trips and doing this and that. 2 out of the 25 students, I would say, in the class passed her exam of behavior and did not have to, just, I guess, suffer the consequences of, what, her, what she was going to say next was that what I want you all to do is write an apology to the people at the Internet Nature Center, and then also a list of steps, like she told me and Garrett. So I got to know prior to that. And as I walked in, I hoped and prayed that we would not have to do that. And we did. Those 2 students did not have to do that. The next thing she said was, go, do it. And I went to my desk feeling just very, very uncomfortable. I felt like I would just explode in a second. I felt just all those feelings just kind of coming up. And I felt like crying because I just want to get the day over with, and I could not relax. I just could not sit and relax in that environment with her around. I did what was easiest first. I wrote the steps. I then handed it to her at her desk, and then she said, aren't you going to write the apology letter? And I thought I could get away with not doing the apology letter, but of course, she suggested it, and I kind of had a little dread that I would have to do that. The reason why that would be the hardest thing to do was I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know what to say. It would all be lies. I would be lying. With all those emotions and all those strong, intense feelings that I was feeling, there would be no, just I wouldn't mean anything by it. It wouldn't be genuine, anything like that. Because if I wrote down, the honest truth, she would see it and, she would make a comment and a criticism, maybe have me go over the old. I didn't know what she would say or what she would do, and I did not want to risk it. I think now, with the 2021 version of myself, I think I would attempt to say something now that I'm older, if I was in that situation. But me being so young and, is very sensitive at the time, just I could not pluck up the courage to, be assertive about those things like I have the goal of 2021 to do now. So I wrote, sorry if I've been, disrespectful, and I was not, and I promise that I didn't, I honestly didn't, act out. I was truthful, but I didn't want to, really, just make an enemy out of her or say anything mean or whatever. So I was having that in mind and being cautious, and then I went after her, and thank goodness I was let off the hook. I sat down in my seat then, and then we got ready to go, and she was standing right next to me, and throughout the whole year period, I just felt so nervous, for my friend, Zane, that he would be caught doing this or acting like that, and things like that, and I was not one of those people that did that. So I don't know if I cried. I would imagine that I probably did, or maybe I I was content with my emotions, but I know inside I was really, really feeling it. And at that time, that was a little bit after it happened, so I was feeling a little bit better, now that I would be leaving, to go home. That night was the night when we ordered crab pizza, like imitational crab pizza, and I watched Harry Potter, the Sorcerer's Stone, the very, very first movie, the very, very first time I saw Harry Potter that evening. And then I had a nice weekend, and then went back for another week on Monday morning and things like that. And the next big, time frame with one of those episodes would probably have to be around Christmas time. That's all for today, and that's all for now. And this is not true. I'm not making any of this up. And it does give me a lot of, it's kind of hard, and it makes me sad to bring this up, but it's true.